Was a little bit lower here. However, this building as a gunpowder magazine was built sunk down into the ground even further. So the landing here is basically about the War of 1812 ground level, and the other bit is the extent to which this building would have been sunk down into the ground. It would have had a wooden fencing around it as well originally. So, let's head on in.
即係唔係射槍嗰啲槍，係冇槍口嗰啲槍。
For a number of reasons, but they didn't want it to stick up too high because they were planning to store a huge amount of explosive material in here. Also, they had a drainage system that encouraged water to drain away from the building. So those I think are really good.
即係唔可以有火，唔可以有水。如果唔係啲火藥一係就會爆，一係就點唔着。
Yeah, the doorways are certainly lower. The average height of a British soldier around 1812 is supposed to get about 5'8". The minimum height requirement to enlist was 5'3". General Sir Isaac Brock, the British commander-in-chief at the beginning of the War of 1812, he was considered tall.
即係可能大媽就做唔到兵啦。
But even at that, you do have to lower your head a little to get into Malala. Yeah, so if people want to come in a little bit, then everyone else can come in. So yeah, so when you're walking through there, that's not a hallway, that's the thickness of the walls. Stone on the outside, brick on the inside, rubble in between, no windows, vents that zigzag in through the walls with copper vent covers. There's copper covering on the oak, the double set of oak doors. There are no iron nails included in the construction of the floor or the racks. So even though a lot of this has been recreated, it's recreated according to the what would have been here at the time. Why no iron? Because you can get sparks from iron, and you don't want sparks in the gunpowder magazine. So copper was used, for example, copper banding on barrels. We do not have any gunpowder in here now. There's nothing in the barrels. This is not actually gunpowder, it just looks like the gunpowder. Carbon, sulfur, and potassium nitrate milled into small grains, different sizes, depending on the type of gunpowder you need for what type of gun or whatever. Highly explosive material, highly absorbent material. So this building was designed to keep the powder cool and dry and away from any kind of spark or explosion. It was used to store ammunition even as late as World War II. It was considered bomb-proof in 1815. That would not have been the case in World War II. But in World War II, aerial bombardment in Toronto was not really a threat. So. In this exhibit, there is evidence of the big explosion right over here. It's hard for all of you to see, but those are bent, broken, twisted pieces of copper banding. Those barrels were ripped apart. The banding was ripped apart. The wooden parts of the barrels have decayed in the ground, but the copper banding is one of the most common artifacts that archaeologists find when they work. Housed up to 900 barrels of gunpowder, so almost twice as much as what was blown up at the battle. Some initials on it, and the date 1815. The initials are those of British Army Engineer Lieutenant William Gossett. He was beginning his career. He helped design the building and supervised its construction, and left a little reminder of his presence on the brick there. That British soldiers had during the War of 1812. It's a paper tube with a charge of gunpowder inside and a lead musket ball. British soldiers went into battle with 60 of those cartridges in a leather box on their right hip. Often these were pre-made and stored as cartridges in some of these barrels. They would probably also have prepared rounds for different sizes of cannons that were here, and for priming charges for cannons and things like that. But also, yeah, sometimes the soldiers had to make their own cartridges, and so that was a thing too.
Oh, so most of the time it's already pre-packed.
Yeah. it
Oh,
would have
okay,
been
that's good. Thank you.
I mean, you know, if someone's attacking you first thing in the morning, you want to have some stuff ready to go.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
You don't want to start, hey, we better make some cartridges.
you might have said this already, but what is that? Is that part of the ventilation?
Yeah, basically. On a nice day, you could open that up and get a bit of a cross breeze in here. The way these magazines were built, obviously they didn't have electricity. There was no lighting in here, and bringing in a candle or an oil lamp would not be a good idea.
Oh.
That's why the door is on the south side of the building, because we're in the northern hemisphere, so the sun is not going to be in that part of the sky. It's going to be either there or down there. So there's going to be some natural light to come in here. But on a nice day when there's a breeze, just to kind of reduce humidity and cool things off a bit, if you open this up, you can get a cross breeze.
Were there any reported accidents?
Not here, but yeah, there are stories like a couple of guys assigned to guard an ammunition wagon, and they decide to smoke some tobacco in their pipes and light up their pipes. There was an accidental explosion actually at the battle. There was a gun position with some cannons west of here, and there was a portable gunpowder magazine, and a spark got in that and created an explosion there. And so that is something that could happen also.
But never here, fortunately not here. The accident, no accident.
Not involving this building, though.